Hey, good afternoon, folks. It's Coach Blue for you. And today's topic will be about betrayal. See if I can get this in before pollen takes me over today. But betrayal. The definition of betrayal is a violation of a person's trust or confidence or a moral standard. The general definition before that, which is it really says nothing, is the act of betraying someone or something or the fact of being betrayed. What does that really say? But basically, in a nutshell, for Webster, it's about the betraying someone's trust or confidence or a moral principle or standard in someone or something. So betrayal is kind of a topic that's similar to me in my mind, as I did upon liars. Um, Most of the time when you see posts or people have a particular thought or belief or feedback about betrayal, it's because they are on the receiving end. They are the ones who were betrayed, or their trust was betrayed. They're the ones that have a specific feeling about the act on the receiving end. Very rarely do you hear about it from the other end of someone that is the betrayer or someone that is betraying somebody about posting or even making comments about it or speaking to it from that angle. 9 out of 10 times, it's always from the angle of the receiver as opposed from the angle of the giver. Well, my question or my thought for today for everyone to ponder or to think about or to actually consider is uh, who is anyone to condemn someone for betrayal? Just like I did on liars, who should condemn someone for lying? When at the end of the day, every one of us has betrayed someone or something and has been betrayed on the other end. So it's a 50-50. Everyone's been on the giving end of betrayal, and everyone's been on the receiving end of betrayal. So it's kind of interesting how people have their point of view of such of a condemning point of view when they're on the receiving end. But when they were the betrayer at some point in time of their life, that wasn't their thought or their belief. Because, like I said, just go back through social media, whatever you want to go through, and see how many people, as the betrayer, as the giving party, are actually talking or posting in reference to that part of the act, as opposed to the receiving end, which is thousands of posts or comments or perceptions about the receiving end of betrayal. And excuse me for the massive blinking, but like I said, pollen is having its way with me right now. But we will press on. So the question is just why, because we're the receiver, does it give us any more credibility or more ability to judge someone for that's on the giving end? Um, we've all, as kids, have betrayed our parents. We've lied to them, or we've betrayed their trust by something we did or something we've done. Stayed out too late, stole a car from them, took a car, took some food out the refrigerator, or ate something we weren't supposed to eat, went someplace we weren't supposed to go, met someone we weren't supposed to meet, lied about our schoolwork, or betrayed the trust or confidence our family had in reference to school, work, education, a number of things. When it comes to our employment, we've either betrayed our employer, we've lied to them, or uh, minimize their trust or confidence in us based off of our performance or based off of some acts or behaviors that we've displayed or had in that environment. Relationships, we've betrayed those who we've loved or been in a relationship for, be either that someone cheated or someone made a different choice or just had a different feeling or different perception about something than someone else had. And obviously, everyone can always um, well, let me back up a sec. One more example in reference to betrayals is reference to families is as parents we betrayed our children. Everyone says, "Well, I've never betrayed my kid, or I've never done that, or or my parents. I've never betrayed my parents." Or sure, you have. You're human. It's impossible. There's some act of trust or confidence or moral standard that you have failed to adhere to or failed to meet in reference to someone else's vision or perception about you and your actions. So, I mean, it would be just great and mighty for us all to believe that we were never on the giving end of it. But unfortunately, if you're honest with yourself, then you have to admit that you have been. So back to the part about the receiving end. Um, like I said, either in a relationship or within a work environment, or whether your children have betrayed you, or your coworker, your spouse, your lover, your parents, anybody or anything, your confidence in a system, your confidence or trust in a process, the educational system, the legal system. There are a number of things. Wherever your trust or confidence or moral standard and that belief has been let down, or that standard hasn't been met, technically you've been betrayed. But typically, it's only tied to that of relationships, and feelings referred or in reference to that, where there's a whole gamut of other areas that it could apply to. Your car could have betrayed you. It let you down on the side of the road. You ran out of gas, or it just broke down. Your trust and confidence in that vehicle was, it betrayed you. It let you down. At the end of the day, when you want to look at technicality and the actual play on the words and what the actual words mean, that's what it means. You had a flat tire. Car let you down. It betrayed its trust, your level of trust or confidence in that vehicle to get you from A to B. Um, they talk about Judas betrayed Jesus, um, by denying him, by saying he didn't know who he was, or he wouldn't acknowledge Jesus at that time of his persecution. And was that really betrayal? In everyone's mind, yes, because he denied him, because he did not stand up for him, or he did not. Well, whose perception is that was a betrayal? Is it the rest of Christianity's perception that it was betrayal because that was the story that was told? Or do you actually really believe that was Jesus' point of view or his actual thought, that perception? My thought, it wasn't. Why? Because Jesus, being all-knowing, he knew that was going to happen. He predicted it beforehand. He used the word betrayed for us, I believe, simply for a point of reference, so that the audience he was speaking to could understand the act, that they could understand what was getting ready to happen as a mere level of education or point of view or communication, to make sure the message was clear. But was he actually betrayed? Did he feel betrayed? I don't know. I was not there. But based off his position and his omnipotence, I would doubt to believe that. On the cross, he cried out to his father and say, how have you forsaken me here on the cross? And which is, another form of betrayal. It's a different word, but when you get down to the root meanings of the definition, it's similar. And his thought at that point, as a human, in that form, how would his father or God in this aspect have allowed him to go through that pain and suffering at that point in time? Or maybe, was it really that, or was it another view of communication for Jesus to share with humanity about the level of commitment or the point of view he was executing in reference to who his father was or his parent was in this example? So betrayal is really relevant or irrelevant. It just depends on where your perception is and where you are. Obviously, for those who are on the receiving end, it's always relevant because they're feeling it. It may be irrelevant for those on the giving end because they're on the giving end, they're not receiving it. But based, like I said when I started this video, is everyone. Everyone has been on the receiving and the giving end. So why should it not be irrelevant at that part as well? Or do we just get to pick and choose when it's irrelevant and relevant, depending on where we're at? But really, where is the real value in it? Where is the real value outside of it just being another word and another action or another behavior of humans, as opposed to something that's being judged? Was it picked to be judged because the first person in history that came up with the definition or wanted to point it out, they felt betrayed? Because I promise you, the betrayer wasn't the one who created the definition and put it out there for society to follow suit. And most likely it was a person on the receiving end. So the thought is, why are we judging it? Why is it such a bad thing? Why have we created that? Is it solely so that we can feel better for those on the receiving end, to help us I guess, work through the challenge of that feeling, that action, and emotion. But does it make it any better or make it any right? Does it make us any better than the person or make us any better than the time when we were the person that betrayed somebody else? So, another point of view for you to think about: betrayal. Which end are you on? Which end have you been on? And will you really be honest with yourself that you've been both? You've been the betrayer and you've been the betrayee. And at the end of the day, what is it really? So, it's Coach Blue for you one more time. Please subscribe, please hit like, please share me with your family and friends. And most of all, please gain understanding and peace.